Welcome back to Good Neighbors. When we left off, we were taking a lap, not of course literally, but we're taking a lap around this track, which is referring to Relay for Life.
Right, Relay for Life.
With Miss Carol Davis. Now, I don't want to say accidentally, but I kind of promoted her with a position. She was like, no, I'm for the North Texas area. And I was like, she's on the board for the American Cancer Society. Well, you know, you never know.
You want me to tell you what it is? I'm the president of the board for the American Cancer Society Board of Wichita County.
Okay.
So we cover, you know, all the cities in Wichita County and all those folks.
People,
but
I just think great things. So, you know.
That was awesome. I love a promotion.
She was like, well, no, I'm not. I was like, oh, okay, well. But let's get back to our laps. The first lap you said is for the survivors.
Yes, for the survivors. We honor them. And then we ask our caregivers to join in. And so they do a lap, and then everybody joins in. But I have to tell you, when you go around the lap, it's so awesome because people will line the track, and they'll give you high fives, and they're clapping, and they're cheering. And, you know, we had some of the military guys out there going, woo, woo, you know. It's so exhilarating is the right word, I think. You know, it really gets you going and drives home this point that we are here to celebrate life.
Definitely. And you can make it. Come on, go again. You can make it.
You bet, absolutely.
And I can testify. Once you start walking the track, and then you're seeing all the different things going on, and you're seeing the people, and then you're like, oh, there's so-and-so from last year, or someone you just know in the community, and it's encouraging. Okay, they're here. Or you start going, oh, I didn't know. Not that you're supposed to know everything, but I didn't know so-and-so was so. Okay, and then that encourages you even the more, I believe, to go forth and go on in whatever is necessary to finish that lap, if it's that, or just to, you know, say, you know what, I might need to pay more attention to certain things in life.
True. This is a great way to meet new people and make new friends. I've made friends being involved with this event, and they'll be lifelong friends. I'll know them until I go home. But it's a really all-embracing, all-encompassing. We invite everyone. It doesn't matter what you do for a living. It doesn't matter, you know, who you are or what, you know, what your situation is. This is just a focus on, it's a family-friendly event.
Now, speaking of family-friendly and inviting everyone, okay, how do we get the money involved? How do we get the money for the research and all that other?
Well, the first step is to form a team. This is all about teams. You know, we're kind of driving a little competition. You know, it's a relay, after all. That's a sporting event. But this is all about teams, and so you get your neighbors or coworkers or folks at your church or your, you know, best friends or family, and you form a team, and then each team has its own fundraiser. Okay. So that way, you know, they can kind of, you know, have a little competition and do that. And we have some folks who are, boy,
really
they have been going at it since.
I've seen on the website, I've seen there's a count of how many groups, how many teams rather, as well as how much money. And I think individuals giving or something like that.
They do that too, the individuals, but the team, you know, who's the top team, and there's some competition. Woo-wee.
And that's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
In this aspect, that's a good thing.
That is a good thing. It's a friendly competition, you know, of course. But the point is to raise money for research and, of course, 2 programs. Road to Recovery, which is where you drive volunteers, the volunteers drive cancer patients to and from their treatments, and then Reach to Recovery, which is for breast cancer patients. And also this 1-800 number is very important, 1-800-ACS-2345. It's 1-800-227-2345. It's a 24/7, they're there all the time. They are staffed by medical personnel, mostly nurses, and survivors, volunteers. They answer questions you may have. And, you know, in the middle of the night, you may have a concern about if you're newly diagnosed. You may not understand some of the verbiage, the
and someone
words.
to, like, comfort you in the midnight hour.
Oh, yes. I mean, when I was diagnosed, I called this number, and I talked to a complete stranger. She lived in Colorado. She was a survivor. And I just told her what I felt. And, you know, because I was scared. And, you know, like I mentioned before, when I was diagnosed, I was in shock. and a little bit angry because
You go through that whole process, the psychological,
It's almost like grief. You have different stages, and everyone handles it differently. But like I said, when I had this negative attitude, God turned it and made it positive. And from then on, it's been blessings after blessings.
And of course, people, when you know God and you know life, the Bible says you'll have trials and tribulations. They're going to come, but you're able to overcome them. And that's what I think you as a living testimony to the survivors as well as to the caregivers of being able to, you know what, you can deal with it. It's not just totally unbearable. And I know some people in sickness or out of sickness can be unbearable in the sense of someone taking care of them because of what they're going through.
Right. Everyone handles it differently. And I think it really helped me that I have a faith in God. You know, there are some folks who don't, and they may be watching this program right now, but I have to tell you, he's an awesome counselor to talk to. You don't have to go anywhere. You can just talk in your own home, the privacy of your own home. You can cry as much as you want to. He'll listen, and he provides. And I'm just living proof that people did pray for me. They wanted me to get through this. And there are things that I never talk about, but I can tell you, and you can take this to the bank, he does answer prayers.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
And I won't go into great detail because it would take, 3 hours, but he does do that. And, I can certainly testify to that. And I think that because my situation is that, my tumor was so large and my cancer had spread, the fact that it only went to my armpit and stopped.
So far, yeah.
It's like, there's nothing. This is just a chapter of life.
And everyone has a chapter making up a whole book of their life to say, you know what, something happened. Here I am. I've made it, and you can do the same thing. And as we get ready to go to break, remind us again, when is it going to be and where?
June 3rd and June 4th, starting at 7 p.m. June 3rd all the way into 7 a.m. June 4th at McNeil Junior High on Barnett Road.
Okay. We'll be right back with more Good Neighbors, and we'll give you some more information concerning not just the relay, but also the website. A lot of information, a wealth of information there for you. We'll be right back with more Good Neighbors right after this.